Islam Makhachev. Our friends over at MMA Junkie talked to him recently, and he poked a bit, saying that he really wants to fight you soon, and he said he'd even be willing to go up against you in UFC 302. Are you interested at all?
100%. That's what I want. That's if I could pick a fight, the title fight that's my choice. That's what I want.
Yeah. I know when they pressed him a bit and they asked why you, and he had a really interesting response. I don't know if you'd seen it at all, but he said you're the only guy available right now, and he wants to do 3 fights a year. So I'm curious, what's your reaction when a fighter has this kind of like, yeah, he'll do mentality?
I mean, that's on him. I've done more in the sport of mixed martial arts than he has. I've been around a long time. I was doing this before it was cool, and I'm still here. I'm still here doing it at the highest level. I could beat anybody in the world, and I hope he's next.
I want to talk to you about your previous fight too while I've got you here, with Benoit Saint Denis. Dana White called your comeback and your win legendary. So I have to ask what prompted you to agree to that fight in the first place, and how satisfying was it to get that KO?
Knocking him out was great. Being the only guy to ever finish him is great. Every win is incredible, but for taking this fight, it's like you got to pay your dues. And I've been at the top a long time. Somebody gave me my chance to break into the top, and kind of like what Islam said, nobody was available at the time. He was the next guy who had a lot of hype, who was putting people away, and it just made sense. And I gotta show who I am. Fight these young, hungry guys like that are this guy's 20 in his 20s. On a 5-fight win streak in the UFC, finished all of his opponents. Like, you just got to throw yourself in that fire sometimes. That's just part of fighting.
Right. I know when people found out about the whole staph infection, it had a lot of MMA fans in a debate over whether or not he should have even gone in the ring with you. And some fans, of course, said it was the opportunity of a lifetime to go up against you. So, of course, he was going to take it. Meanwhile, of course, people who understand the healthcare issues can see why that could be a concern. So, going back to the comments from fans who said it would have been worse for his career if he'd backed out of the fight, do you think that at all reflects on the structure of UFC? Do you think it encourages unsafe matches? How did you feel about it?
I think all that's just talk. If anything I've learned in this sport, fighting for as long as I have, is people are going to chirp. It's all noise. It's all noise. He shouldn't even, you say those type of things like, I had an infection, I was battling something. You say that when you win. You don't say that when you lose.
Right.
I've gone into so many fights with staph infection, with fractured foot, with lacerated bicep, with, staph infection in my ear, like all kinds of stuff. That's fighting. We're on the mats every day. Like, everybody has something going on going into fights, but you can't say that when you lose. You gotta
right.
You got to hush it up.
No, I get that. You recently said after 299, you want that lightweight belt. A lot of people have already called your MMA career legendary. So for you, would it feel incomplete if you don't have the belt?
It's the only thing left for me to do. I've done everything else in the sport of mixed martial arts. I've created multiple businesses. I've headlined so many cards. I've been 30 times in the UFC octagon. My family is set. Like, I've done everything I've set out to do but capture the title, and that's the only thing left for me to do, and that's what I want.